Hey Sassy friends, Sandra here and welcome back to my channel. And as you can tell from the title of this video, we have another release coming up. This stamp set is called Darla Studies and I'm obsessed with it because it's got little girls studying and planning. Whatever you really want to use it for, you can, but it's just adorable in general. This next set is called Sassy Land, and as you guys know, one of my signature characters is the Mellows, so I'm totally obsessed with this set. And I think it would be so fun to just, use on a vacation spread, or if you're going on a trip to a certain type of park. Like Sassy Land. And this next set is called Slay the Day, which I think is super fun, and you get all these girls with different expressions on their face, so I think it's very useful whether you're going to make a card or use it for everyday planning. Super cute little icons in that. And then this next set, which is called Oh Baby, need I say more? You get little numbers for the days of the month, the week. You get tons of little sayings, tons of tiny icons so you can mark, the baby's bath or nap time, or whether you need to buy more diapers. So really cute set. And then this next set is called Banner It, and I love it because you can use this in a bullet journal or planner alike. You're going to see me use it in my Happy Planner, but I will also be showing you guys examples of how to use this in a bullet journal. It's just so cute and has so much versatility to it in general. And then this next set is called Planner Circles, which I'm really obsessed with. You're going to see me use this in this video too as well. And this has tons of different planner patterns in little circles. It's 1.5 inches and it's perfect for your Erin Conran notes page, so if you struggle with knowing what to do with that, this would be perfect for that. And you can also use this in your planner for everyday stamping, which you're going to see that. And then this planner set was also made to work with that one because you can stamp it over patterns, you can put it on its own, and then you have that day where it's missing the little hole, so you can put 1, 2, or 3 weeks, or if you have some numbers you can stamp them in there as well, as long as they fit. And then we have the new Sassy inks, which I was super excited to show you guys, and I'm running an eraser over this just because since I'm using the black Sassy ink, since the formulation for this is different than regular pigment ink, and I did that purposefully so that you could use it with your Copic markers. Sometimes you do need to run an eraser over it because sometimes the ink will pool up a little bit, but it honestly is such a great ink to use for Copic markers and I absolutely love it. So this next set is called Unicorn, and it's the unicorn white ink, and it works great as you can see on dark papers. I wanted to show you guys an example of that because obviously you wouldn't be able to see it on the white, so yeah, it would have been like da da da. So I think this would be great if you're doing a blackout spread or something in a planner. This next color is called Passion Red. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. It's like the perfect sort of red because it's not too much of a deep red. It's like more of like an Americana sort of red. Very, very pretty. And then this next color is like the perfect navy you'll ever have. And the other colors are from the Halloween set, which I just stamped off camera. So, we could get into the good stuff, like let's get stamping. So let's just get started. The first set I'm going to be stamping out is banners. I'm not going to do all of the things I'm stamping out on camera, but I'm going to do a few just so you guys can see my process of what I generally do whenever I'm going to do a planner spread. I usually do this way ahead of time so that I don't even have to worry about anything. I can just have this done, just have it sitting around and I can just pull what I need out of it. And that's something that I recommend so you don't waste too much time. But I really do enjoy this process because it's fun for me. Those are a bunch of the boxes, and then I'm going to go and stamp that same banner as well because I knew I wanted to put some of those throughout the spread. You don't always have to do these separately. I decided for fun to do these on sticker papers just to show you guys that as an option, but if you watch me on the regular, then you know very well that I do this inside the planner as well. So, and as you can see, I use some little editing magic to have all of these pre-stamped from Slay the Day, and I'm going to also add some from this set right here, which is Darla Studies, which is another signature character of mine. And the good thing about stamping on sticker paper rather than stamping in your planner is if you do want to use Copic markers or a medium that you think might bleed through, then this is an option for you. But if you don't mind a little shadowing, you could totally go the watercolor route like I do sometimes, or even color pencils. It really just is up to you on how you want to do that. But I thought this time around I would use stickers because I knew I wanted to do a lot of layering. And then here are some Copic markers I'm going to be using. I generally change the markers that I use. Some I use all the time, but they usually change depending on the skin tone or the color look that I'm going for, if I'm going for a lighter look or a darker look, if that makes sense. I will have a Copic coloring class that I'm going to be doing soon, so if you guys are interested in getting to take something like that, be sure and follow me on my other social medias, which will be linked below, so that when I announce it, you can go ahead and sign up for that. But here I am just coloring a bunch of things in, and you guys are going to see at the end of this right here how I kind of just went in and added very light shadowing. You can definitely add more than I did here, but I wanted to keep it more on the light pastel side, as you know, one of my favorite things to use is pastels in general. So here I'm just going to start cutting everything out, and of course if you have the dies for certain sets of mine that I sell, you could use those, or even if you have a cutting machine like a Cameo, you could just take a picture and use your pick scan mat. So those are just a few options that you have, but I actually don't mind so much cutting. Sometimes I will use dies because it's a lot faster, but other times I just think it's fun to kind of just have fun while I have extra time, and it's kind of therapeutic. So I'm reusing the color macaroon in the summer set that I have, and I'm just going over all these little boxes with my little dauber tool, and I'll try to link anything that I don't sell in my shop in the description box below, as well as the things that I do sell in my shop, so that you guys can get them no matter what. I just thought it would look nice with a little bit of color, so that's why I just added a little of shadowing. And as you can see by the placement of where I'm putting the boxes, you really don't have to just put something somewhere the way it's traditionally meant to be used. You can use it long ways, you can turn it around. There's just so many options of ways you can use things, and I intentionally didn't want to make these boxes too big so they were more versatile for you guys, because I don't think that everything needs to be the exact size of the box in order for you to use it in your happy planner. I'm someone who likes to live outside the lines. Rebel. So you know what? Don't think that you have to be stuck just working within boxes. It's all right to kind of just, you know, move around. And sometimes, a lot of times actually, when I have extra time during the day, I figure why not just have things cross over, especially if I know I don't have a ton of things going on with that day. That's exactly why I actually used Darla in both these boxes, because I knew that I didn't have a ton going on in these days, and I was probably going to be doing the same thing generally, which is either designing or checking emails or doing the many various random things. And I added that little book because I purposely left that desk with that side area so that you can add the little cactus that comes in the set, the books, or the little coffee, whatever you want to add. So I just think it's fun to kind of just add that small little detail, and then I'm just going in with my brush pen to just add some words above it, basically, of whatever I have going on. You guys know I like to get kind of fancy with it, so figured I'd pull out my pen and, you know, do my thing. So, and again, this pen doesn't really leave shadowing for the most part, so once you get to know the planner you're working with, you kind of know where you can kind of push your boundaries. That's why I know that if I wanted to stamp directly on it, I totally could have, but I just thought for fun that I would do something a little different by using some stickers. And if you guys like it, let me know. And they're not stickers, they're stamps, but you know, I stamp them on sticker paper, so technically speaking. And I went ahead and stamped that little planner dude first on paper, and then I added that little sticker overlay. That way I didn't have to worry about cutting his little tiny stick arms, which would be impossible. So that's a little trick of things that you can do. And then I'm just adding these banners throughout this layout that come in that same banner set, and then that little clipboard is from Slay the Day. So I'm just adding a bunch of these little elements that I stamped out. A lot of times I'll stamp out extras because I never really know what I will or won't use. Sometimes I stamp out extra stuff that I don't end up using. And then I added that little coffee because you guys know I can't live without my coffee. Like literally. So I just added that right there, and then I'm just adding a few other things that I have going on throughout the day. And so far I'm already loving the look of this because you guys know I love me some pastels. And then I added a little box, which is actually from my Sassy Mail set, which isn't from this release, but I literally use that set like all the time because I'm always going to the post office, so I literally use it like every other week, if not every week. And I just put mail out orders, and I added a little arrow right there, and then I added the word notes, which is actually from the Track It stamp set. I believe it is, or it's from Happy Boxes. I'll link it down below though. I can't think right now. I had it already pre-stamped out, and then I just stuck it right there. And then I'm just adding a little list of things that I need to get done. And honestly, I could have added even more to this layout than what I did, but I decided not to make this video super long. But sometimes I will go in and just add things after the fact because I know that I'm just gonna want them there. And then I added that same banner and I just wrote "Get It Girl," because you know. And then I added the same girl from the Slay It stamp set, and you know, she just looks like all she needs is coffee and no one bugging her at that moment. That's totally me. And then I added a little bubble above her because I thought it would be fun to just kind of add a little doodle and something that I wanted to write in. And then I used some of the mermaid teal from that jewel tone, from the jewel tone ink pads that I have. I was gonna say stamp set. And I added some green onto that little bubble right there. And then here I'm just using my tried and true post-it note technique. I just took some post-it tape and I added it around the boxes to kind of create a sort of mask so that you don't get ink in those other areas. And then I'm just rubbing that same mermaid teal color around the box just so that I could fill it in and kind of create a cool look and kind of match up that color that I have in that other area. And as you can see, it looks really cool and it's a very simple technique. It's something that you guys have seen I've been doing for a long time now as a card maker originally. I always have random ideas that I think that can translate from one thing to another. And then I'm using another item from that Happy Mail stamp set, or Sassy Mail as I would say. It says Happy Mail on it, and I figured I would just mark because I know that I have some packages coming in on that day. So, you know, I always get excited and stalk my mailman. He's always like, who's this crazy girl peeping on me through the window? And then I have that same circle from the planner circles, which I told you is really cool to use for different things like this. I went ahead and masked off that box so that part of that circle was not in there because I just like the look of offsetting circles and boxes and things. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know this is something that I really enjoy doing. And then I added the little flag banner from the same banner at stamp set so that I could just mark, you know, because I gotta go to get some Target in, you guys. I mean, that's like one of my home away from homes. I gotta like avoid that place like the plague. And then I have the UPS drop off, which I like to mark with that little truck, and I'm writing it in there just for funsies because that's where my other home away from home, all the post office people know me there. They're like, hey girl, you back again? And yeah, so like I said, I use that set a lot. And then I'm adding just a little heart, and I'm just putting edit because I know that I have some video stuff that I need to edit. A lot of times I'll film and then I forget that I have to edit it. And then I just added that half circle there with the little hearts for fun, just to create a little dimension in that area. And then the little marshmallow who's dressed up as a princess, and she's so cute. I'm obsessed with her. Every time I see her, I'm like, oh, like seeing Puss in Boots when you watch Shrek. And then I just wrote inside that little speech bubble up there. I'm adding another banner because I randomly was like, we need another banner in this RL. And then I decided to add this little girl here, and I did that same technique, so I figured I would spare you guys watching me do it again. So I used that same post-it note tape too because waste not, want not. And then I'm using this Copic and going over one of the words that is actually from Slay the Day that I forgot I stamped on the sticker paper, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make like a watercolor looking sticker, except I'm gonna use Copic markers because I'm sassy like that. And then I pulled out my bow washi that is also from my shop. As you guys probably saw that I had that trio with pink and, you know, that kind of sort of bluish purple because pastels are life. And then I just added that underneath that planner. I was able to kind of pull it up a little bit and just kind of added it throughout the page. As you guys see, I have it in like 3 different places. And then I'm using the little masking technique using that same tape that I used. You just want to be careful so that if the ink is kind of wet on there, you don't get that on your hands and then go on and smear it on your planner, which has happened to me before. So I try to be careful when I'm on camera not to get too overly excited. Also, if I haven't mentioned, Fiskars sells a punch that's exactly 1.5, so if you get the circle die, you can actually cut it out with this same punch and then add it to different places in your planner as stickers. So if that's not epic, I don't know what is. I loved that. And then I added another girl from the Slay the Day set, and I decided I'd add her above my to-do list that I'm going to use the side banner for. And so I decided to stamp out that extra banner and just put it right underneath her. And if you hear any noise in the background, that's my dog playing in a plastic bag. Yeah, that's Daisy for you. But yeah, there you have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this layout. If you did, give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this, and make sure and subscribe and become part of the Sassy fam, and also hit that bell so you can get the notifications when I post new videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and go check out thesassyclub.com to see more products and videos.